Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm joining you today from the traditional unceded territories of the Gooskimook First Nation. Today we're going to do a little bit of mobility stuff for our hips. It's one of my favorite things to do to start my day off, or especially if I'm about to go surfing. This is like my go-to routine. So we're going to start with our feet just a little bit more than hip width apart, and we're just going to do a little bit of hip circles just really, really gently. So when you're doing this, I want you to think to lengthen through the spine, elongating all the way up, all the way through the neck. Draw that belly button in towards the spine. So I'm drawing my entire abdomen inwards, and the bottom ribs here, I'm tucking them in. Good. And as I press my hips forward, I'm really working on not hyperextending through the lower back, but rather keeping like the slightest little bit of a tilt with the pelvis forward. Good, and we're gonna switch directions. Keeping it going. Good. Keeping that nice pelvic tilt ever so slightly engaged forward. Engaging through the pelvic floor, drawing everything up and in. So another way of thinking of this, imagine you really have to pee. You don't want to pee your pants. So you're going to squeeze everything closed. Good. Switch directions again. Start to go a little bit bigger. As we bring our hips back, we hinge at the hips, bring our chest down. And think you're trying to keep a nice flat back. So I'm not really rounding or slumping through the spine as I come forward, but rather keeping a nice straight line. And switch. What a beautiful day out here. Look at this place. Too nice to not share it with you. Good. And last one. So from here, arms are going to be straight out. I'm going to hinge at the hips, nice flat back. I just come forward and I come up, keeping a slight bend in my knees as I fold forward and up, forward and up. So just waking up the glutes and the hamstrings here. Keep drawing that belly button into the spine. Keeping these bottom ribs here tucked up and inwards towards your back. And keeping that pelvic floor, as always, engaged. Again, another analogy to think. You got a big old air bubble on the way. Had too many beans with your lunch, maybe. You don't want to let it out, so squeeze everything, draw it up and inwards. Good. Last one here. Perfect. So from here, if you can, bring your hands to the ground. Now, if you're super tight through the hamstrings or through the hips or the ankles, your yoga blocks are really nice because you can use them as extensions of your hands. I'm going to bring my feet in just a little bit, so they're going to be pretty much hip width apart. And then I'm going to come down and up. Down and up. So again, I welcome you to use your yoga blocks as needed. Sometimes if I'm super tight when I'm first starting, I'll use my blocks and then ditch them as my body starts to release. Good, and keeping it going. I'll just turn to the side here so you can see what I've got going on. I'm trying to keep a nice flat back, chest upright as I come down, and then I come straight up. Good. Last one here. Perfect. So from here, you can try to walk your legs in a little bit if you can. If not, stay where you are. Again, yoga block under the hand to whatever height you may need, and just bend one leg and the other, and one, and the other, and one, and the other. Perfect. Keeping it going. Just walking it out. Awesome. So from here, we're just going to come straight out into a nice high plank. You're going to take your left foot, bring it straight next to your ankles. So see if you can get your knees stacked over top of the ankles here. And we'll just do a little gentle rocking forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Good. From here, we're going to do a circle. So think you're like stirring the pot with your belly button. Going around as if you want to swish your hips around to touch every single edge of your mat. And switch directions. Beautiful. Good. Coming back to center here. Take that inside hand or same side hand. Reach it up to the sky. Calm down. Other side. So I'm just going to rotate myself all the way around. Readjust as needed. Forward and back. And just take in this beautiful place. Had a nice stormy day here yesterday, and the sea is calming down a little bit. Always love the Wild West Coast. Good. Stir the pot around. Good. And switch. Good. And then same side as that front leg or inside hand. Reach straight up to the sky. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to bring my back foot in, step it in, and again, just march it out. Nice and easy. Good. Now from here, I'm going to come back down again, bringing it nice and low. Now again here, if you're really tight, you can always take a yoga block, place it under your tushy to help yourself sit. It's always nice. And I really like having a block here just to keep my arms nice and straight, just so I can get into my shoulders a little bit better. So I'm going to have my arms directly overhead. I'm going to get rid of my block because I don't actually need it, but you're always welcome to have it. In fact, I'm always going to encourage you, especially with mobility when you're first starting, go a little easier and give yourself some support. So draw those shoulder blades down towards your pelvis, arms as straight as possible. I'm going to come up with my bum, to tap my block to the floor, coming straight back up, down, tap, up. Awesome. Good. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. From here, you're going to hold your position. I'll just turn myself around so that you can see me. Finding my positioning here in the sand. It's a little uneven, so I got to get used to it. I'm going to take one leg, bring it in, and other. Just hinging at the hips here. Beautiful work. Might also be feeling a little bit of opening up through the ankles. Good. Last one. Coming back, I'm going to take one hand, grab the opposite ankle, reach up to the sky, big spinal twist. Other side, big spinal twist. Again. And again. Oh, here comes the sunshine. Yay! And again. One more per side. Beauty. Hands to the ground. See if you can come up, this time keeping your hands on the floor. If not, maybe you need your block. Maybe you got to keep a little gentle bend in the knees. That's okay. Again, just little bend, little bend. Just kind of walking it out. Good. And from here, we're going to twist over to the side, back to our high plank. Take one foot forward. Big twist. Come down. Other side. Big twist. We're going to do a few of these repeating. What a beauty of a day it's turning out to be. And I am so lucky there is not another human being on this beach today. Lucky us. Last one. Good. So now from here, you may actually want to have your yoga blocks. So if you need to awkwardly just grab those and bring those over. I really like to have these handy. Give me a second here. My foot's going into a hole I've made in the sand. So you can have your hands on the ground, or you can have your yoga blocks, again, whatever height is helpful for you. And I'm going to just straighten out that front leg. And now I'm going to think of scissoring my hips. So what that means is this front hip I'm pulling back. This back hip I'm pulling forward. So my hips are twisting into each other. And now think that you want to take your tailbone and curl it up towards the sky. Good. Coming down and up. Switch. Whoops. Good. Good. Switch. Down. Forcing it back. Now see if you can fold over. Forward. I can hear my dog barking and I don't know why. Roma girl, what's the matter? Push the hips back, curl that tailbone up to the ceiling, fold over that leg, and come back. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe another human has arrived. Boo. Good. One more time. Again, pull that front hip back, fold over, come back. And back. Right on. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon.